Yep.
You're here! Finally!
Is something wrong?
Monsieur Neurvalette and Lady Farina, they seem to have gotten into a dispute. Please go see for yourself.
What's dispute? Oh. Are they fighting?
Like I said, I've already explained everything.
And yet the problem has not been properly solved. There is little space for excuses between us. It is not my intention to offend you, but please, tell me where you stand. You are the Hydro Archon Focalor, are you not? Look at this. This is a list of the victims from the recent Poisson incident.
Poisson.
You mean... they're all...
You're dead.
We did not arrive in time to avert this disaster, and I will not have it happen again. I will say this once more. You must tell me everything you know. Yesterday, I found 3 stone slates in some ancient ruins near Poisson. Do you know anything about those?
Seriously? You're questioning me like this is a court case now. I don't know anything about that. But you found them in some ancient ruins, you say?
That's correct, which is why I came to ask you some questions. There should have been 4 slates, but one of them was missing. The other 3 feature different images that seem to correlate to the prophecy.
The prophecy?
The second of these slates depicts the previous Hydro Archon Egeria kneeling before a floating island in the sky, as if confessing something. Do you know nothing of this either?
I don't. I've never seen such slates.
I'll ask you again. Do you really have no information regarding the previous Archon? My deciphering of the slates indicates that the Hydro Archon Egeria once had to confess to, or apologize for, a certain sin. If anyone would know about it, it should be you.
All gods don't have the same secrets, you know. She was herself and I'm me. Is it really so strange that I know nothing? I understand your concerns, but I'm sorry. I just don't have anything to tell you.
Forgive me for saying this now, Lady Farina, but I have long known of your various secret investigations into certain matters. There are several indications that you have been investigating the prophecy on the sly. This is not strange in itself, considering that you are the Hydro Archon. But it is strange that you should also claim to not know any of Egeria's secrets, as well as do nothing following your inquiries. You have never been as superficial as you have presented yourself to be, nor are you a fool. And yet, your behavior is very inconsistent.
So you've been watching me all this time, have you? I didn't think you were that type.
You...
Well, since you know about my secret investigations, then you should know I'm actually working to take care of it. There's no point questioning or suspecting me. You're the Eudix, but you're still my subordinate. You should be following my lead. Just trust in me. You're Archon, and do as I say. Never mind whether you can truly convince yourself to or not. It'll all turn out fine. That's all I have to say. We do not discuss this matter again. Oh, the opera's about to start. Toodles!
Did
She's so
Serena
annoying.
not notice us standing by the door? Wonder what's up with her. She was...
I assume you've been outside for a while now?
Oh! You noticed! Seems Farina didn't even realize we were here.
She was in a great panic, though I cannot discern the reason. Our discussion reached impasses time and again, a state of affairs that we cannot allow to continue. Still, I do not understand. Dialogue is the basis for understanding, so why did she keep refusing to engage? Everyone in her inner circle has noticed that she is hiding some secret. The issue is her attitude. I fear that she will not reveal anything unless absolutely forced to. We may have to create a situation in which she will have no choice but to speak.
Oh? Like what?
Normally, people will only reveal the truth when standing trial. Perhaps we must have the Hydro Archon experience just such a scenario.
But Farina's seen so many trials, and she's really good at dodging questions. How do we make sure
Wait,
that
what?
she won't just slip away at the first chance she gets?
Am I not streaming in Twitch? Wait, hold on. Oh, wait, you're right. No wonders. I was waiting. I was waiting for your message there. Wait. There. Done. You can watch from there now. I forgot to press that one button. Alright, done.
We will need to consider this thoroughly, join forces with various parties, and then do what we can. If at all possible, I would prefer to recuse myself from this affair, but we must prevent the prophecy from coming to pass. This may be cruel to her, but all Fontaine is in crisis. The information a god possesses is too precious, and so we must take a chance on this.
Oh, just one?
But who will lend us their aid to do such a thing?
Well, that's everyone, huh? Speaking of which, it was pretty smart of you to think of hiding here.
Poisson was just involved in a disaster, so it's presently devoid of people. That naturally makes it the best choice.
And here you are drinking tea like it's the most natural thing in the world, huh?
That's what families should do. Sit and enjoy a leisurely time together.
It's nice to enjoy tea here, you know? Care for a cup?
Sure.
Lend me your ears, everyone. Or perhaps one of you might like to start us off. How about you, friend?
Me? No, I don't think I can.
Then
Was he
how about
introvert?
you, good sir?
I fear that I will cause the mood on this boat to become as somber as it is in court.
Well then, I guess we're lucky we've got a local like me to organize things. Wonderful, the spotlight at last. I guess I'll be facilitating things from here.
That was a little long-winded, don't you think?
Oh, you might be right. Anyway, to cut to the chase, our friend here, the Traveler, has brought us together to discuss something. As for what that is, well, let's start by saying that we'll be pooling our efforts together to create a series of traps.
Oh, how intriguing.
Well, it's just an expression, really. One that I just learned from Chlorand and used on the spot. So, let's invite her to explain in detail. A round of applause, please.
Huh? Didn't you say that you would be facilitating this?
Oh, come now. Your work doesn't involve much public speaking, right? This is a good chance to practice.
Ayun.
You might
Ah.
even pick up some fancy oratory tricks to impress your boss with in the future.
I see. And what does my boss say?
He is glad that you consider him your boss. Do go on.
Who is the boss?
In that case, do any of you have experience hunting?
Not that I recall.
Yes, in Minecraft.
Fremine and I once used a wooden stick in a basket to catch wild rabbits when we were younger. As for Lynette, oh, right. You were sick that day, weren't you?
I've also gone diving to catch some fish before. Does that count?
I'm afraid not. You may or may not have heard, but Fontaine once played host to a group known as the Marechaussee Hunters. Though that was their name, they did not hunt animals, but rather various monsters left behind by the ancient dynasty of King Remus. Today, Fontaine's monster population has already thinned greatly, so the hunters have blended back into society, taking up arms in other lines of work. They even left a unique methodology of hunting in their wake. A trap comprises of the following components: bait, a trigger, and a containment device. Sometimes a lethal implement will also be necessary to deal with the prey. So, if we were to build a trap together, right now, what would you choose to build it with?
For me, I would prefer something basket-shaped. Pigeons and rabbits will see the bait and naturally enter the snare.
Are they hunting something?
Our line of work requires a deft hand, and we're some of the best in the industry, so you can count on our techniques.
You used some of those techniques while moving the people of Poisson, didn't you? My subordinates mentioned that you even performed some magic for the bawling children.
Yes, and I even managed to gather some intelligence in the meantime. I'm quite the multitasker if I do say so myself.
I'm afraid I can't claim that as my strong suit. I prefer more stable methods, like placing bait in the water and waiting for the fish to come within reach. That's the kind of method I would count on.
Calm and steady. Exactly the kind of person who would catch loads of fish.
And I can be their assistant.
With discretion, I'm sure.
I'd probably use some sort of mechanical animal. Papa once bought me some small clockwork squirrels, mice. I remember that you liked those too, didn't you?
Blah blah blah.
And that would be a good way to go about it. If they're realistic enough, animals of the same kind will follow them all the way to the trap.
What about you, Monsieur Neuvillette?
I fear I do not have any related experience.
That makes sense. You usually solve problems directly, without the use of any such tricks. But I do have one more question for you, monsieur. If we were to create a trap now, how would you design it?
Big.
I would like for it to be effective, but bring no harm to the prey. A more gentle trap would be ideal.
Kind, as always. However, our intention doesn't necessarily change the containment device and the type of implement we need. If we wanted to kill the prey in one strike, we would need a powerful implement. However, that also goes for prey that must be captured and safely contained.
Wait, why is that?
Only a hunter who's a true expert at subduing their prey can snare it without harming it. The line that divides life and death is often exceedingly thin.
You don't remember what they're doing?
So, are we going hunting
Well,
together?
Huh. We
this
haven't
sounds
done
like they are
seeing ourselves
discussing
as
about
hunters.
hunting.
It kinda works, but maybe it's still not the best metaphor.
If
I
our
don't know
means
what
of
they're gonna
capturing and
hunt.
dealing with our prey is to put them on trial, then the hunting metaphor is
Feels
actually
like they are
quite
talking
accurate.
about
But we shall require much more courage than any
Playing Minecraft
hunter
together.
to judge a god, a being whose seat is an exalted throne.
Oh, so that's what's going on. Sounds very interesting.
interesting. I think so. Maybe they wanna catch Furina, like make bait as. But what I know is they're trying to make Furina's confess, like telling the secret and stuff. I don't know what kind of trap it gonna be.
It's been a tough few days, hasn't it? So much has been happening. Paimon didn't think the meetings would go on for so long, but everyone seemed pretty fired up, huh? Paimon thought they'd be at least a little frightened. Well, Fremine was, now that Paimon thinks about it, but everyone else just looked a little surprised. Well... It's hard to say. Paimon doesn't have any experience with this sort of thing. But with you around, Paimon sure will do great.
Oh, of
After all,
course.
you're the most reliable person in the world, aren't you?
Yeah.
Did you just pour some tea? Paimon didn't notice you doing that at all. Then what's that? Paimon's never seen that cup before.
Don't be frightened. I'm just joining you two for tea. I merely refrained from saying anything till now.
Who's that voice? But there's no one here.
Ah, have you forgotten me already?
Wait, you are familiar. You're the voice we heard from the sky in Sumeru.
Who?
The voice from the sky,
Klee's mom?
I fear that description is wrong. You're feeling lost
Because that cup
now,
looks like Klee,
just
one
as
of
you
Klee
were
doll,
feeling previously.
or her backpack.
I sensed that confusion and thus came to you. Guiding people is an irresistible hobby of mine, after all. Consider me a passerby, just accepting a commission from my friend's disciple on a whim. The prophecy. Yes, what has been prophesied will be fulfilled. You may...
What? Then is there any way we can stop it?
I believe you have witnessed a failed attempt with your own eyes. Can everything in Tevat so easily be changed? Ah, so you've caught on. Just as prophecies are usually only the future as seen from the perspectives of the gods, could things be happening in hidden corners where the gods' gaze does not fall? Are the things that you shall see different from the fate that the gods perceive?
What is she talking about?
She's yapping.
It all sounds really impressive and important and stuff, but...
I believe that you understand, right? So ultimately, fate shall serve as your only guide, no matter what will happen in Tevat's future.
I'm
This was
skipping
good
this part.
tea.
The voice.
Alright.
What? I want to hear someone talking. Alright, coming! Hey, it's you who's getting lazy, okay?
Well, I see I've walked in on some lively banter.
Mona.
Fine, just fine. I went to take part in that Steambird panel. It turned out to be more interesting than I expected. Not all Fontanians are pessimistic about this. One journalist mentioned that sitting around and waiting for the end to come would be wrong, and that they should make their own rescue preparations. I agreed, so we had a brief chat with her.
Did she have pink hair by any chance?
Why, yes, it was Charlotte. I assume you've heard of her, no? That daredevil journalist? I'm in full support of her view. Prophecies are very important, but how can people allow their lives to be commandeered by just a few words?
That's right! Paimon's glad to hear something's sensible for once.
Ah, yes. About what we had discussed before. I did try, but I'm afraid I couldn't reach the old hag. I'll try again tonight, but I wouldn't get your hopes up. Huh? Goodness gracious. Are you serious?
She said that even the god's gaze has blind spots. Pretty bold if you ask Paimon. Most people would believe the gods to be all-knowing, right?
The Hexen Circle members are certainly anything but ordinary. As for the mage named N, the old hag has mentioned her a few times.
Oh, so that's
She
not
said that N's sense of
Chris' mom?
direction is incredible, and that she loves guiding those who are lost. But I've never met her, and if she were still alive, she'd be... Well, suffice it to say that the hag's at least a few hundred now, and N's been around for longer than that.
Whoa.
Whoa. The Hexen Circle sounds like a scary group.
Oh, mama.
But they must really stay in shape to live so long.
Their abilities alone are pretty terrifying. If she came to see you personally, then the problem you're facing must truly be of great importance.
Well, it's not like Paimon could understand anything she said.
Yes, she was quite cryptic, but I suspect she means that there is still a way to turn things around. She didn't say when or what that would be, though, so perhaps it is something that you cannot know right now. Traveler, Paimon, are you two all right?
Oh, we're fine. We're just a little down right now.
I see. I feel that same sense of desperation, too. I guess you could consider me someone who has often witnessed fate. But even so, I still hope for, and believe in, miracles. Perhaps that's what En was trying to tell you. Not to lose heart, and to believe that what you are seeing playing out before you is not yet set in stone. I did originally think of steering clear of all this, but I couldn't. Even if this is all futile,
Huh. You do have a point.
There I go, talking about astrological principles again. It was worth trying to comfort you, even if only a little. I suppose that might be why we always seem to meet by coincidence.
So many
Paimon feels kind of
yapper.
moved by what Mona said. Hey, Traveler. Paimon suddenly feels like going outside for a walk. Let's go.
You mean for a float?
Let's walk around the city, shall we? There's a few spots we always like to walk by.
Holy shit. Oh. Where? Huh. I feel like I should just teleport. Oh, it's outside anyway. Oh. Mm. Hmm.
Huh? Our names are written in this newspaper. What's going on? Let Paimon see! The underwater stronghold, the Fortress of Meripede, has continued in its noble autonomy. But that does not mean that others cannot interact with it. My recent attempts to enter the fortress bore little fruit. Huh. Guess Charlotte still hasn't given up on that. Thus, did an Outlander friend become the focus of this report. A blonde adventurer with their white fairy, legends trailing in their wake. It is said that this mysterious traveler
I
once
bet that's
visited
the
underwater
Peter Parker's
So while the
stuff.
fortress's interior remains
The pink hair girl. I forgot her
do
name.
not fear, for the tales of the traveler contain surprises in spades. Journalist Charlotte's biggest
yeah.
scoop yet: the Traveler's Trail, World Walker. Huh. Charlotte took so many awesome photos of us and we never even noticed her. She hasn't been able to get a hold of anything at the fortress, so since we're easier to find, she's using us as the subject matter instead? Ugh, seriously? Well, fine. Those headlines and photos do look cool, so Paimon will forgive her this time.
Huh? Eh? Wait, what? Simulanka is the event thing, right? Who's this one?
We're here! Paimon's hungry. Should we go in and get something to eat? Hey, quick! Look! That's the limited edition only 16 slices a day cake! It was so delicious the last time we tried it! Despite the tense situation we were in, let's give it another go. Paimon's sure it'll be great!
One slice of cake, please.
Someone showed up after all! Oh, wait, you're the one from the Palais Mermonia.
Oh, are you here to buy cake too? It seems Monsieur Nervalette was right. You really can eat.
Wait, did he really say something like that?
That's right. Even he has his own preferences when it comes to food. As for me, I love the cake and coffee here.
Do you come here often?
Usually every day.
Every day?
It's part of my daily schedule, apart from work. I shall have my cake and coffee.
Then what if someone told you one day that this place would be closing soon, and you wouldn't get to eat cake here anymore?
Oh,
What would you think?
that's deep.
Why would it close?
Well, Paimon doesn't know either, but maybe the waters will rise tomorrow. You know, like in the prophecy.
Oh, the prophecy. To be honest, I haven't paid much attention to that. No. Still, even if there'd be no more cake tomorrow, that wouldn't keep me from having some today. No. It's the same for eating in general. You might not be able to eat tomorrow, but if you can do so today, then you should carry on. That's what people call living, you know.
How about buy 2 so you can eat tomorrow?
Don't be sad. Excuse me, could I have 2 more slices of cake to go?
Yeah.
These 2 slices are for you.
Oh.
Sijuin said that this kind of expression you're making is what humans call being sad.
Oh, you know Sijuin?
I sure do. She was born before me, and she
She's-
sometimes comes to the surface to teach us things about
She's
humans.
her furry friend.
She said that humans are creatures that are saddened easily, yes, and you can only lift their spirits by feeding them delicious food. So please try the cakes here.
Oh.
I've got something else
Alright,
to do, so
noted.
I'll be going now. You two try to stay in a good mood after eating, all right?
And someone
Bye.
said, just feed them food.
And there she goes. All right, let's dig in. Paimon's sure this cake will be delicious. It's more delicious than last time, and the flavor gets even better with a sip of tea. It sure would be nice if we could come again tomorrow. Sure would be nice if we could always eat delicious food here.
Hey. Oh, we were inside a building?
Oh, we're near the Steambird office. Let's go look for Charlotte and have a chat.
Wow! If it isn't the Traveler and Paimon! Oh, have you seen the article I wrote about you?
You stalk us?
You've got some nerve. You just used us to make some quick mora.
Ruffy's
Don't
fleet.
worry about that. I heard that you were in Poisson some time back, so I sent you a letter to discuss just that. It appears you didn't receive it, though. It's all right, though. I've set aside the amount intended for you. I've even set the table
Yeah.
with some food.
Nice.
Oh, you're the best.
You're almost a little too easy to win over, Paimon. If I were a journalist with ulterior motives, you'd be in trouble now, you know.
Oh, Paimon knows you're not like that.
Still, what brings you here all of a sudden? Were you looking for me?
A friend of ours met you a while back, and when she mentioned it, we thought of coming to see you. Her name's...
Ah, so you know Miss Mona as well. She's a guest columnist for our paper. Really good one, too. She's so young and already such a brilliant astrologist. So she mentioned me? What did she say?
She said that you're a real daredevil of a journalist.
Nice. In which case, can this daredevil journalist dare to request an exclusive interview with the legendary traveler and Paimon?
Huh? So your article in the paper today doesn't count?
Oh, of course it doesn't. That was more like live photography. What I'd like to do is dive deeper and ask you to talk about the things you've seen and experienced.
Yeah, are we even qualified enough?
Why not? If I say you're worth an interview, then you're worth it.
Oh, in that case, we'll just chat when you have the time then?
Oh, so that's a yes? Ooh, splendid! I'll tell the editor-in-chief immediately. Whew, so much to get done now.
Wait, Charlotte, Paimon's still got a question for you.
She's gone. Oh.
And what's that?
If, just for example, Fontaine were to be flooded tomorrow, what would you do today?
Huh, that's the prophecy you're talking about, isn't it? I mean, I do hear about it often, but I've never once thought that the day could be tomorrow. If you're seriously asking,
If it is float, is it the toxic water? Like the one that can make them turn to water?
I have a duty to
Is
be
it
reporting from the scene.
that one?
And secondly, I wouldn't forsake
Or is
my
it just
homeland
float
that
with
easily.
normal water?
From what I've seen, most people don't know what they'd do should the worst come to pass.
Because
In
if
truth, it might be better
it's
just to
normal
behave
water,
like normal
just
rather than
swim,
worry
right?
over such an end. So in all likelihood, I'd probably still be prepping at the office for that interview of ours. I know what you're thinking. That sounds a bit sad, but I've always believed that it's best to do what you enjoy. Just think about it. If this nation really were to be suddenly destroyed tomorrow, but I still successfully finish an exclusive interview with a truly unique person, then the story I would wind up writing would truly be timeless. And then do you know what I'd do? Well, I'd write that story, send it for printing, and use messenger pigeons to get copies out to the various nations as soon as possible. I'm not a dreamer, nor am I a workaholic.
Primordial
I do
water.
love my job, and I'd be proud of leaving such an article behind.
Is that the one that can make
born to be a
them
journalist.
melt or something?
But anyway, that's my answer.
Dissolve?
And on that note, I'll get back to my preparations.
Oh.
That's so nice. All of a sudden, Paimon actually kinda envies her. Anyway, let's go and take a look at the sea, shall we?
Let's go.
The sea breeze and scenery can be a pretty soothing combo, huh? Paimon's been thinking. If it wasn't Fontaine, but all of Tevat that would be destroyed tomorrow, where would we go and what would we do?
My teapot.
No, Paimon should ask, if you could choose, what would you like to do?
Just chill in the teapot.
We've always been moving to the next destination, so we haven't spent much time thinking about these kinds of things. We didn't have to either, with us always being on the road and whatnot. You mean, still traveling? Huh. Wait, isn't that what we've always been doing?
Oh.
Feels like it'll grow more, but it's still better than the Fortress of Mirapede, that's for sure.
Ah, so the two of you are still here.
Oh, you're from the Palais Mermonia, aren't you?
Yes, I'm Isadora. Monsieur Nervillet sent me to look for you two before. Not at all. I'm well aware that you're friends of his. Yes, inside the Opera House. The Maréchaussée Phantom has declared the incident a small-scale riot.
A riot?
Well, that said, I don't personally think it was that serious. Lady Farina was watching a performance at the Opera House, and while she was resting during an intermission, some other audience members suddenly started harassing her, loudly accusing her of doing nothing about the prophecy crisis. And before she could respond, others started to join in. The crowd continued to grow, and protests against the Hydro Archon started to break out.
So people have started to put the blame on Farina. Guess they finally found an outlet for the pressure they've been under due to the prophecy.
I agree. People will naturally rely on gods, as is customary.
But the moment people feel threatened, gods are also the first to be blamed.
Deep.
So what happened after that? Is Farina okay?
Seeing that the situation was spiraling out of control and that further argument was pointless, she claimed that she'd gotten tired of this and left in a hurry. The Marechaussee Phantom had their hands full maintaining order and did not catch where Lady Farina had gone. Only when things had stabilized did we realize that she had gone missing.
So, you mean she's still missing?
That's right. The Marechaussee has dispatched many people to search for her, but we don't have any leads yet. That said, I don't think there's much to worry about. Good. Monsieur Nervillet sent me to tell you about the situation, but he didn't say anything else.
Don't worry, this is more than enough to go on.
Is that so? Well, all right then.
Well, sounds like we should hurry over to Poisson then.
Poisson!
We know Farina. She won't try to fix things in this situation. Instead, she'll look for a place to wait out the heat. And, as we also know, she may be loud and dramatic, but she doesn't have a heart of stone. When Nervillet was talking to her in the Palais Mermonia, and she heard about Poisson, she couldn't hide her sadness and remorse. It would be hard for her to ignore being accused by the public today. Paimon thinks Farina's probably taken the opportunity to slip away to Poisson and try to relieve the sense of guilt that she's feeling. Huh. Well, what do you think?
Let's go to Poisson!
But Paimon can do the analysis to back it up too.
Yeah.
In that case, there's not a moment to lose.
Poisson!
Here we come.
Yes. Let's go, Poisson. Apocalypse. Poisson in Apocalypse.
This place looks deserted. Guess all the survivors must have evacuated already. All that's left here are signs
If
of
I were
devastation.
them, I will be traumatized by all water. Wait, I'm not looking at her as I'm looking at the water.
I wouldn't go any further if I were you.
Shut up. I'm not allergic to water like you. Like you people. Is that Farina? Whoa! Whoa! Can I? Poisson! Ah. It would be funny if I just jump out and pull her into the lake. I mean the water.
That's Farina, right over there.
Should I just give up?
Yeah.
This is all meaningless.
Jump.
What was meant to happen did happen after all. Everyone's dead. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
There's a hydro in your water.
Give up, Farina. There's no point in holding out. I'm sorry. But what can I even do other than to repeat meaningless apologies over and over? Who's that?
It's
Don't
me.
worry, Farina, it's just us.
You done crying?
Farina, you were crying just now, weren't you?
What do you mean, tear stains? Oh, I remember. The show at the Opera House earlier this morning was so moving.
They're trying to make Farina confess already. Finally. I'm so annoyed with this version of Farina.
Disturbing my enjoyment of the arts. They even dare to tout their Archon. I must teach them a lesson. I can just imagine their twisted and frustrated faces once they realize that I'm no. Oh,
Blah, blah, blah.
and I'm
Come
sure
on.
Neuvillette and those people from
Stop
the
trying to act
Marechaussee
tough.
Phantom are. Of course not.
Hey, there she is! The Hydro Archon's over
Yeah,
there!
come on. Beat her. Come on.
Quick, after her!
Farina, those people seem to be after you. you.
What you gonna do, Farina?
They are... They're just some rabbit fans who want to cut the line because they haven't been able to meet me in person, aren't they? That's against the rules. I can't let them get their way.
Farina just ran off. Quick, we have to catch up with her.
They're so slow. Oh my god. What is this? What?
This should be the place, right? Hey, Farina! There's a good hiding spot over here. Quick, come to Paimon before the rest of them catch up to you.
What is this place?
This is Poison. Come on.
Fine, fine. I suppose haste is warranted. Lead the way.
You're gonna make baby in there. Time to practice element mastery. Oh, hello.
Paimon's exhausted.
What the?
No, I mean, I merely gave in to the sheer enthusiasm they...
She's so annoying.
Yep, that's a good girl.
What's happening? The ground's shaking.
Yeah, a quake of this kind preceded the flooding in Poisson, didn't it?
Poisson.
It can't be. It's happening again.
Well, there's
Again?
no need to worry too much about that. Neverlette's made some emergency plans, so the evacuation
Oh yeah, it
should
happened
go a
before.
lot
I
smoother
forgot.
this time.
Yeah, I hope you're right. But the people of Poisson,
Poisson.
they've already...
I can't with the name. It's so funny. Poisson. It's like croissant. Croissant.
It's true. I've been investigating the prophecy for hundreds of years.
Wait, how old are you? Oh wait,
once
she's an
had
Archon. I
informants
forgot.
all over Teyvat,
They are old as
searching for
fuck.
clues and feeding
She's
information
basically
back to
Granny,
me.
you know?
I've tried all kinds of ways too to hold back the sea. Anything to keep the coastline from advancing. But all my efforts proved to be futile in the end. Really, the truth has been clear to me for a very long time. We cannot make an enemy of the divine. No matter what we do, the will of the heavenly principles will have
She's
its way.
super
and
Granny.
The prophecy shall be fulfilled.
Old bastard.
Give up. I do love the sound of that phrase.
She can walk on water. She's
It means
basically
finally coming to terms with
Jesus,
fate,
but
also
female.
for me to
But a woman.
finally be free. Indeed, I've
Reverse
thought
Jesus.
about giving up so many times, especially after we almost lost Poisson.
Poisson.
Fate is really
Can you turn the wine
has no
to
heart and obeys
to
no
the
rules.
normal water?
The prophecy has only just started to come true, and so many people have already lost their lives. But just now, it all became clear to me. I still don't have the right to come to terms with fate on behalf of everyone else. As long as the final moment hasn't come, it's still not too late. Don't worry. I will keep hope alive for everyone until the very end.
Oh wait, is it other way around? From normal water to
That's
alcohol?
enough for now. I got the impulse to
I
play
don't remember.
the stricken maiden, but honestly, considering my rank and station, that wasn't a good fit at all. Don't take any of what I just said seriously. How could I possibly let Fontaine fall to the whims of trivial prophecy?
Come on! Paimon could have sworn you were actually being honest just now.
Come on. Farina, you might not have to shoulder this burden alone. To be honest, I don't care what's happening.
That's
Come on.
impossible. It
Just
was
make it
stated
quick,
right
please.
from the start that this would be my duty alone. A witness. Yes. I've heard that you came to Tevat from beyond the stars, yes.
Oh,
In
they
other
all
words,
know.
You never belonged here.
Yeah, I'm not from
And
Earth.
if Tevat is, in its entirety, a show on a stage, then you're
Is
just a
Tevya even
spectator,
from even
aren't
on
you?
Earth though? Maybe
If
this is
that's
actually
the
in another
case-
planet. There's no time left for this, Farina. Just spit it out. Traveler really loved pull his chest whenever he talked. Come on, we should kiss. Damn it, Grandma. Oh. Oh, it was a trap. Wait, did Traveler know? Oh. You just got pranked, Granny.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes my opening performance. Now, without further ado, we may proceed to the trial of our god.
So, this is what it is. Yes, you deserve praise for the effort you took to raise the dramatic stakes. Do not forget, however, that I am Focalor, the god of justice, the embodiment of justice itself. Does it not strike you as even the least bit absurd to bring the very concept of justice to trial?
May I interpret these words as your refusal to stand trial? In that case, you will have the opportunity to defend your honor through a duel.
Yeah.
You would draw your blade against a god?
Why not?
I see. It seems like you have made up your mind.
Huh, come on. What are you gonna do? Where's your Hydro gonna come out
I
from?
can't believe it.
Oh.
She just surrendered.
What the heck is going on? Did I just see an Archon surrender to a human?
Wow, how utterly humiliating.
Lady Farina, what is the meaning of this?
Shh! It would seem that there has been a misunderstanding.
Oh my
To
god,
be
just tap
clear,
her,
the
please.
raising of both hands is not always an indication of surrender.
Looking for excuses again, huh?
I raised my hands just now to indicate my acceptance of the trial. No duel shall be necessary. I will admit that I've been running away for a long time. I'm sorry, everyone.
Oh, this is so
You
cringe.
are not the only ones to be disappointed in me. But now, it is time for the Hydro Arc. I, Farina, will use this trial to show the world the true meaning. This time, I will protect you.
Okay.
Applaud and rejoice. One of the most outrageous and fantastical arcs known to the opera epiclese is now unfolding before your eyes. Mark my words.
Oh.
This shall be one of the most exhilarating and brilliant shows ever to grace the stage of Fontaine. The trial of the Hydro Archon, Focalor, will now begin!
Woohoo!
Now we're making history.
Why does it feel like Farina just took over the whole thing? Like, come on! Didn't she just get forced to stand trial for her crimes? Also, even though she's still acting super dramatic, she is taking this seriously this time, right?
All right, then. Who will be my opponent in
Me.
this trial?
The court asks the prosecutor to please take the stand.
Yeah, come on, fight me.
Is that so? Very well. Then please speak, witness of Tevat, my accuser and fated opponent.
That was her last chance to confess?
Also,
Oh.
please allow me to ask, As a final question before the trial begins, just how much work did you do to force me onto this stage?
Well, we did do a lot of prep after the meeting that day.
I can go over the tasks assigned to the Spina di Rosula, since they were rather straightforward and easy.
Navia, the president of the Spina di Rosula.
Most of the people who participated in the disturbance this morning were my subordinates. They changed into plain clothes and came to the Opera House as regular audience members, waiting for the perfect opportunity to incite insurrection against you. The
Good job,
people's
Taylor
resentment
Swift.
against their Archon has been building as more and more of the prophecy is fulfilled. Moreover, according to our understanding and analysis of you, when something like that occurred, you would likely flee the scene and head to Poisson by
Poisson.
yourself. So, we arranged for a second group to lie in wait there.
So, you mean the ones who scoured the settlement for me were also from the Spina?
And their goal was to force you to step into the giant magic box so you may personally participate in the greatest magic performance in all of Fontanian history.
That's right. That house was a magic box, rather than someone's residence.
As the super ultimate version of the setup that I used when I first performed at the Opera Epiclese, the volume of the box was increased by a whole order of magnitude, and the distance it traversed was the entire gap between Poisson and Aranias. Its
Poisson.
cargo, of course, was an Archon instead of a human. My thanks, Farina. Without your help, we could never have pulled off such an extraordinary performance.
You're welcome?
Of course, this performance was only made possible with Father's support.
Oh,
the House
damn.
of the Hearth spent a massive amount of labor in Mora to pull this off. We had to select a location, construct the giant magic box, dig a tunnel, and open up a path through the water. It was a lot of work for all of us.
So, in other words, the earthquake that we felt within the giant magic box was just a normal tremor from the transportation of the whole house?
That's right. It wasn't a sign of another disaster to come.
We deceived you.
Then, I can guess Nervillette and Cloran's parts. You gathered a crowd, prepared a stage, and made sure that the champion duelist would be immediately ready for a fight. Also that as soon as I appeared on the stage, the trial may commence without a hitch. Am I right?
Yes, that is correct.
Well, Clorand, I must commend you for your courage.
Thank you.
As for you, traveler, I suppose your role was to keep me distracted with conversation once you found me in Poisson. You'd make sure that I didn't notice anything amiss before revealing yourself as my prosecutor once we'd arrived onto the stage.
No.
Oh?
My mission. Oh, we hope that you share a secret.
Is that so? Then I suppose I must have missed my final chance. It's fine. It matters not. What's done is done. The stage is already set, so there's no reason to disappoint the audience. Let's see this trial through to the very end.
Sir Prosecutor, please allow me to pass this along. This is a document that Miss Charlotte applied for and received permission to share with you during the trial. According to her, it should speed up the proceedings.
Huh? Charlotte wanted to give us something? Oh, so she's here too! Hey, Charlotte! Oh, let Paimon see. Isn't this the exclusive interview that she did with us before? So wait, then that means this document is a perfect timeline of everything that's happened ever since we stepped foot in Fontaine! So in other words, we can refer to this anthology of evidence every time we want to use something from our journey as evidence for an argument! Let's quickly confirm the information in it. Just think of it as a refresher, alright?
You defeated the Hydro Archon. I didn't think that you'd wind up getting to the bottom of the case I'd been fought. This is the first time Monsieur Nervillette had a difference of opinion with the
Ajax.
oratories. A Fatui harbinger.
Harder?
The fortress of... According to Miss... I nearly... The words of someone...
Not good.
The prosecution and the defense are both in position. The trial shall now begin.
Oh, come on, Nervy lad. There's no need to repeat all the unimportant legalese. Just fast forward to the part where the prosecution lays out my offenses. Of course, it is only natural for humans to struggle to understand the actions of a god.
That's true. But my charge here is unrelated to
My
your
voice!
conduct as an Archon. Instead, I would like to charge you as a fraud who's never been the Archon in the first place.
Wait, what was that? Lady Farina's a fraud?
Oh, what are you gonna say now, huh?
I came here thinking that we were going to try the Hydro Archon for Forsaken.
You fake granny. You just...
Did I hear that
You're
right?
just old, but no power.
She's not an Archon at all?
Charge accepted. Lady Farina, do you plead guilty to the charge?
Come on.
Lady Farina.
I plead not guilty. How can I be guilty? There is no way that I, Focalor, otherwise known as Farina de Fontaine, a member of the Seven and the Regina of all waters, kindreds, peoples, and laws of Fontaine, could be anything other than your true Archon.
Yeah. Even though Lady Farina can be rather eccentric, isn't it going too far to doubt her very identity?
Yeah, I've never questioned her identity either. Sure, Lady Farina can be super irresponsible, but what grounds does that prosecutor have to make such a huge claim?
I have cause to believe that common sense will prevail in this case. Many of the members of the audience have known me as the Hydro Archon ever since they were born. There would be no fooling their memory. See? Even the Oratrice has decided to show me its favor. Are you sure you want to commit to a charge that will never be upheld? If you wish to drop the case, I can promise you as the god of justice that you will...
An argument with near impossible odds, huh? We have to not only refute Farina's claims, but also overturn the long-held beliefs of the people.
Well, I tried to give you the chance to surrender. If you must persist, then let me ask. If you believe I'm not the Archon, then what manner of being do you think I am? And if I was not the Archon, then how did I manage to live for over 500 years?
This one. She tried to attack you, but you were crying for help.
First of all, you may be a member of another long-lived race, which would allow you to naturally possess an extended lifespan. And second of all, even if that wasn't the case, there could be other ways to extend your life.
Yeah, you tell her, Paimon.
Who gave you that idea? Was it the knave? You'd sink so low as to use a harbinger's words against me.
A curse? I once thought it possible that the aura of an Archon might naturally resemble a type of curse. But in light of this claim, perhaps what I sensed was not your divinity, but a curse after all.
Neverland sensed it too, huh?
Instead of an Archon, could you just be a cursed human?
Lady Farina is actually a human?
Yeah.
Well, it is true that it's extremely difficult to tell humans and gods apart just by looking at them. It's not impossible.
Well, don't start celebrating too early now. Even if I have been carrying a curse like you said, how does that prove that I am merely a human being? Besides, everyone knows that the main difference between a human and a god is the possession of authority. Gods can do what humans cannot. That's why they're worshipped as gods. For centuries, manifestations of my authority have served the nation of Fontaine. One need only to turn their eyes towards the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal in this very opera house, or consider the endemnitium that is used in every aspect of life.
Oh shit, I was reading the dialogue.
That doesn't sound right. Paimon doesn't...
What evidence proof that Furina is not the master of Oratrice? I don't even know what Oratrice is. The meeting with Nave? Oh no. No. Tea time with Anne? What's Anne? No, don't say it. Okay. Maybe this one?
You tried to reference the Oratrice. But weren't you as confused
Gigantic
as all
machine?
the rest of us when the Oratrice declared Child to be guilty without any proof?
The one on the
You
stage?
should have come up with a good explanation for that.
The one that with left and right hydro thingy?
Didn't I make myself clear at the time? The decisions of the gods are naturally difficult for humans to comprehend. There is no need to provide an explanation.
Lady Furina, I believe a reminder of your current circumstances is in order. While the court is in session, the principles of justice and the law must come before all else. While you are an Archon, you are also first and foremost the defendant in this trial. You will prove yourself unable to defend against the prosecution's charges if you continue to withhold vital information against the rules of the court.
I never thought you'd use that kind of rhetoric against me.
That was no trick of rhetoric, Lady Furina. I've merely reiterated the rules of the court. Rules that all should respect and follow.
So, you neither knew why Child was declared guilty, nor did you understand the structure and operations of the Oratrice. Instead of having been created by you, the manifestations of authority you mentioned have been made by the real Hydro Archon, haven't they?
The real Hydro Archon? Well, now you're really losing me. It is true that I did not know why the Oratrice gave out a guilty verdict that day. But the Oratrice handed out that verdict unilaterally. And it has been operating independently ever since it was first created. You can't argue that just because a divine creation is flawed, that the god behind it must also be no god at all.
She's still throwing out all kinds of excuses. Seems like she's confident that we won't be able to produce proof that she has no power over the Oratrice.
My power as an Archon?
Yeah.
There are many ordinary citizens in the audience. How can I just carelessly demonstrate the formidable power of an Archon?
If that poses a concern, I'm prepared to extend my protection to the audience.
Yeah.
You don't need to go that far.
Come on. Pour some
Aren't
water?
you the Hydro Archon? Or is it that you can't even wield the power of Hydro, much less
At
the
least
authority of a
pee.
god?
Pee in the middle of the stage and say, oh look, it's a Hydro.
Indemnitium! All Archons derive their power from the faith of the people, and I've converted the people's faith in justice into indemnitium. Thus did I give up all of my divine power to provide everyone with energy for their daily lives. Have you ever seen a more magnanimous god?
Isn't that a huge stretch?
Yeah, no matter how generous an Archon can be, how could they give up all their power? Can a god with no power even still be called a god?
It seems like nobody's buying Furina's excuse.
Yeah.
Come now, everyone. Please don't stare at me as if I was a liar.
Shut up, Granny.
I'm still the same Furina you knew, right? The one that you loved. Shouldn't you want to believe in me? Please? You've got to believe me.
If what the prosecutor said is true, she really has committed a grave offense.
Did she deceive all of us? And all of our parents and grandparents too? And then all of our ancestors? Ever since they were born?
Enough! That's enough. Tell me then, if I'm not the real Hydro Archon, Then who is?
I'm a traveler.
You have
I'm
no
on
evidence
vacation.
of another Hydro Archon's existence, nor can you find anyone who can back up their claim to be such. Then what grounds have you to say that I'm not actually the real deal?
Wow, she came up with yet another argument. How can we refute her now?
It's like arguing with women.
She really doesn't want to give up.
So many excuses. What evidence can prove that Furina is a human? We have used this. I could use this one.
That doesn't...
Yeah. Yeah. Ah, damn it. The truth behind the serious problem. Okay.
It has been established that all Fontanians can dissolve in water from the primordial sea.
Primordial.
And that means...
Since you insist on claiming to be a god and not a human, then there's a method that you can use right here and now to eliminate all suspicions of you being the latter.
Miss Navia, please apply to serve as a temporary attorney for the prosecution before addressing the court. Though you act in partnership with the prosecutor, you must still adhere to proper procedure.
Super sorry, Monsieur Chief Justice.
Super sorry?
I swear this really will be the last time that I'll... Now, I've brought some seawater from Poisson.
Poisson!
Everyone knows a massive flood struck the area not long ago, taking many lives, including those of some of my close...
Yeah, whatever. Come on.
Miss Farina. If we are to believe that you are indeed the real Hydro Archon, touching the seawater would have no effect on you. All it should do is strengthen your case. But if you don't dare to touch it, then we would have basically proved the reverse. Oh, and I must remind you that after the disaster at Poisson, nobody wants to see any more people dissolve. I do hope you'll act prudently and choose the simpler path of admitting guilt.
Navia from the Spina di Rasula. The Spina has
Hello,
governed Poisson
Cloud
for many
Bedard.
years. I guess her suggestion is valid.
If Lady Farina is indeed just a human, she's probably Fontanian like all the rest of us. Would she really dare to try?
Come on, come on. Drink.
Lady Farina, this test has been unilaterally proposed by the prosecution. As it falls outside the realm of standard court proceedings, you possess the right to decline participation.
Well, of course he had to tell her that.
Wagani.
But refusing to
Tower
participate
of
is
Fantasy.
basically the same as a confession of guilt.
She's just staring at the water without saying a single word. It really does seem like she's quite terrified of it. That could only mean...
What's going on? Is she really planning to... that's not what we thought she would...
Muka Genshin, muka bocah tak mata.
Due to the inherent risk of
Peminat
the
loli
test,
tak
Lady
layak untuk cakap macam tu. Wow.
Hey!
I'm fine! Look at me, everyone! My hand is still here! I haven't been dissolved! Will you believe me
Loli is
now?
not kid.
I really am your
Loli is
Archon.
granny, man.
I'm nothing like a normal human who would fall apart as soon as they touch this water! Really? Was this not the most obvious thing in the world?
Miss Siegewin? If you are present, Miss Siegewin, please come forward and attend to the defendant.
Siege, Win? Don't be nervous. It'll just take a few seconds. Let me see. That should be enough.
Please announce the results of your evaluation to the court, Miss Siegewin.
As everyone doubtlessly saw, Miss Farina was displaying symptoms of hyperventilation and flushed skin. These indicate that she was experiencing the adverse effects of exposure to primordial seawater. The extent to which she was affected is the same as other humans when exposed to primordial seawater of a similar concentration.
Thank you, Miss Siegewin. Lady Farina, you may return to the defendant's stand.
Oh, wait. What did she just say? I didn't get dissolved. Shouldn't that be enough to prove my innocence?
Well, considering your tendency to run from your problems, we did originally prepare a direct sample of the seawater around Poisson.
Poisson.
However, after extensive discussion, we exchanged it for a sample that is not concentrated enough to dissolve an actual human. After all, on the off chance that something entirely unexpected might occur, we don't want anyone else to lose their life to the sea.
Yeah, so out of regard for Farina's life, you secured a low-concentration sample and asked the head nurse to serve as an expert witness. It's a great thing that the direct sample wasn't actually used. Farina could have...
I can't believe... you... Listen to me, everyone. Please don't give me such cold and disdainful looks. What happened just now didn't prove a single thing. Think about it. How can you conclusively prove that an Archon can't also be affected by the primordial seawater? Also, if I was really just a human, why would I dare to just put my hand in that kind of water?
You crazy, that's why.
Please, everyone.
Oh,
anyone,
look.
just listen to me.
A hydro, that's her power.
I really am your Archon.
Yeah, keep crying, girl. It's music to my eyes.
I don't think anything she says at this point will sway anyone. The odds are just too stacked against her now.
With all the things that have been said, Paimon doesn't think there's any way left for Farina to win.
I believe the time for arguments and presentation of evidence has come to an end. If there are no objections, we will move on to the final judgment.
I don't think anything she says at this point will sway anyone. She's too stacked against her now.
What you gonna do now, huh?
In my capacity as Chief Justice, I shall now render judgment on Farina's misrepresentation of herself as the Archon of Fontaine. As a human who knowingly deceived her fellow citizens, Farina
Bye-bye.
is
a human.
Guilty.
We're not the one that was working hard to save her country. So what?
We shall now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal to render the final verdict on the charges.
Bye-bye, Farina.
According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal, Farina is...
What?
Well, what's wrong? What's the
It can't be.
verdict?
She's innocent.
No. The Oratrice also displays a guilty verdict.
Isn't that correct then?
Guilty verdict?
However, the exact wording of the verdict is thus.
Oh.
The Hydro Archon.
Guilty.
Guilty to be punished via the death sentence.
The death sentence?
That's actually one of the available sentences? I've always thought that it was just a myth.
The one and only time the death sentence has been handed out at the court, and it's been given to the very person we've worshipped as the god of justice? What an unexpected twist.
Farina's been
Just like
sentenced to
Jesus.
death by the Oratrice? We just wanted to use the trial to show her the seriousness of things so she'd tell us the truth. How did things escalate this quickly?
This outcome is indeed quite strange. According to Fontaine's current definitions of justice, as well as its recommendations for criminal sentences, is this sentence really appropriate for the crimes that have been committed?
Yeah, even Fauché wasn't sentenced to death by the Oratrice. You know, the real evil mastermind behind the serial disappearances case.
Indeed. Not only is Farina's sentence overly excessive, the very point of our trial today was also to prove that Farina has never been the Hydro Archon in the first place. But now, the Oratrice seems to have deliberately invoked the title of the Hydro Archon. What does this mean?
Excuse me. If
Not
I
Farina.
may interrupt.
Not what?
Is the trial still going?
Yeah, introvert
Fremine.
boy.
You finally made it. I assume this means you've completed your mission?
Mm-hmm. Any mission Father assigns to me will always be top priority.
Is that the first prophecy slate? Huh. So the knave privately arranged for Fremine to try and find the missing slate.
I looked everywhere and finally found it at the bottom of the sea. It took me a long time to get around some dangerous stretches of water. But has the trial already concluded? Then doesn't that mean I've come too late?
Thank you for your hard work, Mr. Fremine. Please allow me to review the record left on the slate. Traveler, I believe that you have already seen the other existing slates, and would like you to come here and confirm their contents.
Oh, just jump.
Huh? So what do you see? What is...
The previous Hydro Archon releasing her divine power.
I believe I have now made sense of the Hydro Archon's crime. It has to do with Fontaine's lost history.
Huh? Isn't the Hydro Archon just guilty of deceiving her people?
Oh, read both?
Oh, wait,
Ah,
no,
shit.
that's Farina, and we've already proven that she's not the Hydro Archon. So when you say Hydro Archon, do you mean the real Hydro Archon we've been kinda talking about?
In truth, everything that you've encountered in Fontaine up until this point can be traced back to the contents of these stone slates. However, I'm uncertain as to how much sense they currently make to you.
Okay, let's try to recall the contents of the other 3 stone slates. Paimon will do her best to help you remember.
Whenever I watch you play Genshin, blah, 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 puzzle. Yeah, because this chapter is a puzzle and a very long one. Ah.
The first stone slate describes what you just said. It seems to show the previous Hydro Archon using her divine power, and then the Oceanids turn into humans. Does that mean that Fontanians are transformed Oceanids? Oh, Paimon wasn't expecting that.
3 mission? No, those 3 are 1.
Humans, then perhaps
This is 1 mission.
reversed as well.
Very long.
The second stone slate shows Celestia floating in the sky, and the Hydro Archon and her people worshipping it together. But the heavens still brought judgment down upon them. This must be the point when the Hydro Archon and the Fontanians were branded with their original sin. Does this mean that the original sin and the Hydro Archon sin are the same thing? The third slate shows the Hydro Archon sinking into the sea surrounded by many people.
Surrounded by people.
That reminds Paimon, didn't we also watch that happen to someone else? Well, the fourth slate is the prophecy of the Fontaine. We didn't believe that such a crazy disaster could happen at first, did we?
Okay. Oh, what the fuck? What now? Oh. Ajax. Yeah.
We know from the case of the serial disappearances of young women that Fontanians can be dissolved in primordial seawater. And the first stone slate tells us that long ago, the Hydro Archon used her power to turn Oceanids into humans. This might be the reason that Fontanians can dissolve.
And people say this game has a better storyline. Yes. Actually, yes. Have you... You didn't even focus on the Wuwa story, so I don't think you will understand. But Wuwa storyline and Tower of Fantasy, they're a bit boring. It's predictable, but Genshin one is a more lively. The stone slates. Yeah, Wuwa is a basic story. Like you can tell what gonna happen. Oh, if I skip this, I know what gonna. Yeah, but Genshin, no, it's different. The tea? Oh, Furina. Yeah.
Perhaps what is about to take place has all happened before. The true sin of the Hydro Archon that Nervalette mentioned, and the original sin cast down on the people of Fontaine by Celestia, has recorded on the stone slates.
Lebih panjang. Yeah. There was one side quest. It takes 2 weeks real time to actually finish it, because of even if you skip the dialogue. I'm not gonna read all of those.
It's not as simple as falling into the sea. When Navia fell into the sea, her consciousness was subjected to judgment. The stone slates show the people gathered around the Hydro Archon in the sea. Could that be alluding to the same thing?
Edges! No edges!
The prophecy from the stone slates found its way into society, but not many people believed it at first. The fortress of Meropide was nearly flooded with primordial seawater, which we know can cause Fontanians to dissolve. It seems increasingly likely that the prophecy may come true. If we hadn't dealt with it in time, things could have gone very badly.
Okay.
They'll dissolve into the primordial sea but won't cease to exist. Their essence will flow in the seawater, converge, and take the form of an Oceanid.
Yeah.
The Hydro Archon was sentenced to death in court, shocking everyone present. Perhaps this means that her sin was actually Fontaine's original sin. Navia fell into the water inside those ruins, and she nearly dissolved. She was surrounded by the people of Poisson in a court within her consciousness, and was forced to take part in a trial meant to make her stay. The eruption of the primordial sea at the fortress of Meropide was the surest sign that the prophecy was about to come to pass no matter what. The stone slate's contents can all be verified by recent events. If we combine what we know together, loads of truth should come to light. Oh, Paimon gets it now! So that's how you can make sense.
Person already finished the story one, yes. To the latest, I think.
Let's hear them.
The first slate reveals that Fontaines are not real humans.
Incredible. Linny, did you hear that?
Yeah, I mean, look at your ear, man.
Not real humans.
You're a cat.
All Fontanians were originally created by the late previous Hydro Archon, with Oceanids as their basis. The evidence for that can be found in how only Fontanians could dissolve in primordial seawater, and how all the girls Vacher dissolved were also turned into Oceanids. Oh, and according to Navia, when she was about to get dissolved, she also saw everyone gathered around for a trial, all of them in the shape of Oceanids.
Indeed.
Yeah, and it follows from the content of the first slate that she probably angered Celestia by creating humans without prior permission. That could also explain why the Oratrice judged the Hydro Archon to be guilty. It's to account for that ancient sin.
The Hydro Archon's true sin was creating us?
And yet, after many hundreds of years, the Hydro Archon's creations have turned around to try to judge the Archon within the Opera Epiclese.
She talk a lot.
The twists of history are often the most unexpected of all.
I'm still convinced that it should come after the fourth slate.
Yeah, isn't the image here just like when Navia fell into the sea? So wouldn't it be trying to show the image of the Hydro Archon also falling into the sea once the prophecy has been fulfilled in the fourth slate? In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away. Did Paimon get all that right?
They were all supposed to die.
Some keen deductions. I must say, given how much you still don't know, it is impressive that you've already managed to connect so many pieces of the truth. However, while you were able to decode all the information on the slates,
they were all meant to die, weeping alone on the throne.
Hidden information using a different power source.
That's what Furina trying to
decipher the hidden information recorded in the slates.
Stop.
But since
Prevent? Wait, is prevent stop or not?
I was unable to come
prevent.
to a full conclusion. Now that the slate collection is complete, I shall make another attempt to decipher the narrative.
They're not supposed to exist.
If everything goes well, we should finally be informed of the unadulterated truth.
So basically they are like unwanted sperm, but grew up already.
Well? Did you get it?
I believe I should share this truth not only with you, but with all the people of Fontaine as well. I will try to briefly summarize it for you.
Yeah, summarize it, please. Make it short. 20 words or less.
Your hypotheses regarding the origin of Fontainians and the sin of the Hydro Archon were both correct. In the Fontaine of old, the previous Hydro Archon sensed the yearning of her Oceanid familiars for life on land. The Oceanids were enamored with the beauty and romanticism of human beings, and wishing to have those experiences for themselves, expressed to the Hydro Archon their desire to become of a similar kind. However, even though water as an element is intricately linked with the power of life, the Hydro Archon, as one of the seven, did not possess the authority to create a new form of human life. Not one to give in, she eventually found a way to create permanent humanoid bodies for her familiars by appropriating the power of this planet's primordial sea. She poured primordial seawater into the Oceanid's blood vessels, creating humanoid mimics in the process.
No.
But if Fontainians were to ever come into direct contact with water from the primordial sea, the power within their bodies would escape these artificial restraints and return to the sea. As a result,
that's their
collapse, and
original
they would be reverted
form
to their original forms as Oceanids. Of course, the Hydro Archon never received permission from the heavenly principles to create a new human race. And thus, the Hydro Archon and all of her creations
so all of
came
these
to
originally
shoulder the
are
original sin of
Oceanids.
appropriating the power of the primordial sea. That is the true history of how the people of Fontaine first came into being.
So we were all Oceanids before we turned into human beings?
Yeah, basically like sperm.
That's way too much information for me. I think I'm just going to pretend that I never heard a single thing. Wait, but if that's the truth, we can't let the Hydro Archon be sentenced to death. After all, her only sin was creating us.
Yeah.
This really might be too much information for your regular Fontainian, but it does answer a lot of our questions.
Yes, it's like sperm wanted to grow up, but couldn't, but then like grow up anyway.
A key point of the visual on the third slate is how all the individuals depicted in the water are humans rather than Oceanids. They have not been dissolved, which implies that the water depicted in this slate is not water from the primordial sea. The nation of Fontaine is the nation of Hydro, as well as the nation of trials and justice.
Oh, it's so
Instead of
nice
being
when
the literal
Furina is not
element,
talking.
The water
So
in
peaceful.
the sea symbolizes judgment and justice. You may also recall Navia's experience. When she fell into the sea, her consciousness was surrounded by that of many others who intended to hold a trial to determine her fate. Therefore, the meaning of the third slate is
they were
that
jealous.
the people of Fontaine shall try the Hydro Archon at the court of justice.
Oh. It can't be.
Yes, it refers to our present situation.
I think I'm following now. So, what you're saying is, even though we decided to put on this trial to avoid fulfilling the prophecy, in truth, everything we've done has happened exactly as the prophecy foretold. So now, it seems, we're the ones making sure it comes true.
What should we do?
I don't know.
Huh. No matter what, the prophecy will be fulfilled.
Yeah, that's right. Talking Oceanids.
Is this what it feels like to be a prisoner of fate?
If that's the case, does that mean the scene in the fourth slate will also be fulfilled soon?
Yeah.
Traveler, I would like to point out another small fallacy in your deductions. About the fourth slate, you probably thought that the eruption of primordial seawater beneath the fortress of Meripede served as the surest sign that the prophecy was about to come to pass, yes?
Yes.
However, I believe that rather than being a sure sign, that eruption could in fact only be a small warning of something far worse to come. As for the root cause of the catastrophe, I believe you've already encountered it once before.
Oh my god.
This eruption was just a small warning of the things to come.
Okay, what now? Ajax!
Sound quite right. Let's think about this.
Chlorine, isn't she one of the new workers? Yeah, she is. The evidence that verify blah blah blah. See into the fortress of Murphy is cup of tea. Yeah, this one, the wheel.
Dream.
In reality.
And reality.
If we're talking about a true culprit, that could only be that thing inside the primordial
Who is
sea,
that
right?
small person down there under the wheel? Is that Ajax?
The truth, the original sin, the trial, and the root cause of the disaster.
Whoa! What's happening? Run, Oceanid, run! Oh my god! Judgment Dew, nice. You can attack water with water? Are you stupid, dragon? Oh wait, I did that. Bye-bye, Oceanids. Ajax! Woo! Yeah! My husband though if I give. But I'm strict. Yeah, attack him. Eat. Oh wait, I hope my dad did not hear what I just said. He's a dragon? Yeah, he's a dragon. Ah. I just fell down.
Way too close! How did that thing just burst into the opera house? Wait, was that the huge whale you saw?
That's right. So we've met it at last. I understand very well why it has chosen to make an appearance here. That whale does not belong to Tevat. It is a monster that has traversed the stars, weeping all the while. It has been greedily consuming the energy from the planet's primordial sea, using it to grow. That is the main cause for the rising sea levels. And once it has finished consuming all of the energy contained within the sea, its next step will be...
You said that when the Hydro Archon first created Fontanians out of Oceanids, she filled their blood vessels with primordial seawater.
Precisely. That whale finds the blood of Fontanians nigh impossible to resist. Therefore, when it left the primordial sea, it decided to make its next stop a packed opera house full of food. Food in the form of Fontanians.
We just barely managed to push it back, right? In that case, won't it come back to target the people again once it's managed to recover its strength?
That's right, tell the squish.
Correct. Indeed, it is more accurate
The whale
to say
can
that we
swim
should thank
through
that
worlds?
carpenter for buying us
Nice.
some time. Without him, the whale would have likely come onto land far sooner. From the way he looked, he must have been fighting the creature for quite a long time.
How long has he been fighting that thing?
That battle maniac. We always known that he had a special connection with that whale, but we definitely didn't expect it to help us out like this. Anyway, now that we know that this whale is the actual cause of the disaster recorded in the prophecy, all we need to do to stop the prophecy would be to find a way to beat it up, right?
It is too late.
What do you mean?
It had already absorbed too much of the primordial sea's energy before we could notice it. At this point, it has become practically integrated with the sea itself. Even if the entirety of Tevat were to be destroyed, it could still survive and swim off towards
So hot
the
here.
world.
Damn it.
That's
I feel
not
like I wanna
something I
take
will
off my
accept.
pants and everything.
We've already done everything we can, and we even found the true culprit. We've come so far. You can't just tell me that the last hurdle is some impossible foe. That's just not fair.
Indeed, that's not how a grand performance should end.
I'll fight it to the end, no matter what.
So the prophecy will be fulfilled no matter what, huh?
The prophecy. Yes, what has been prophesied will be fulfilled. You may view such things as the history of the future. Just as prophecies are usually only the future as seen from the perspectives of the gods, could things be happening in hidden corners where the gods' gaze does not fall? Ultimately, fate shall serve as your only guide, no matter what will happen in Tevat's future. All you need to do is to...
What's happening with the oratories?
I believe it is preparing to carry out the death sentence.
Uh-oh.
Farina!
She's ready to die.
No, I still need answers.
At least tell us. Whoa. Oh. Hold my hand. How? How did tear drop on my hand when they are still far? Oh, that's the sword. It's a very big sword.
You...
Farina.
Sorry. That shocked expression on your face is just too amusing. I couldn't help myself.
Different voice.
You are not Farina. Who are you?
The sweet sound of bewilderment. Marvelous. A sure sign that my attempt to deceive everyone was a resounding success. But to answer your question...
Focalors.
I am Focalors.
Oh, Focalors.
You know, the god.
Focalors. Why did you deceive us?
Oh, that wasn't my goal, of course. Goodness, no. But I had to fool everyone else too, if I was to stand any chance of deceiving the heavenly principles.
Deceiving the heavenly principles?
It's all because of that pernicious prophecy. Dreadful, wasn't it? Everyone doomed to dissolve. Fontaine condemned to be flooded. One was not amused. In fact, one was positively bemused when that problem was thrust upon me by my dearest predecessor. That's the former Hydro Archon Egeria, for the uninitiated. It hardly gets more disastrous than a preordained national catastrophe, now does it? She knew full well that the prophecy would surely come to pass. And as one of the seven, she also knew full
The seven?
well that
Homelander?
defies the heavenly principles at one's peril. So yes, as you have no doubt surmised, it was a rather impossible situation that I found myself in. I spent a terribly long time mulling it over, alone on the ocean floor. And I was almost growing barnacles by the time I finally realized
Don't stand near me.
there was only one possible solution
The sword
to
gonna
this
drop down, right?
confounding conundrum.
You're gonna kill us both.
I had to outwit the heavenly principles, allow the prophecy to be fulfilled, ostensibly at least, while saving everyone at the same time. I'm a genius, I know. I can only assume that's why Egeria chose me as her successor. Although, looking back now, it was hardly the inheritance one dreams of. Between the task of saving the nation, the quotidian duties of the Hydro Archon, and not to mention the original sin of creating a new race of humans, I dare say she left me quite a colossal mess to clean up. But one can only play the hand one is dealt. I did not choose this, any more than I chose to be one of her Oceanid familiars.
So you were also once one of the Oceanids, transformed into a human by Egeria's hand.
Yes, I was. I always dreamed of becoming human. And I still do, even now. In my eyes, to be human is to be part of the greatest opera ever known. After becoming a god, I separated my divinity from my body and spirit, leaving behind only a self that was as naive and bewildered as my past self on her first day as a human being.
Oh.
The me you see before you now is that divinity. And the human counterpart I left behind, I named Farina. She could feel joy, sorrow, and everything in between. She could be as vain and conceited, or as meek and vulnerable as she wished. Her strengths were of a kind only a human could possess, as were her shortcomings.
We said that Salor is the only one taking the punishment and not the Hydro. What happened to the Hydro Archon before her?
But in my eyes,
Where is she now?
Farina's humanity was what made her perfect. She was
She dead?
perfectly human in every way.
Why?
The person I always wanted to be.
How?
Anyway, so then I cursed her. All part of the plan, of course. The plan to deceive the heavenly principles. Do you still remember the final scene of the prophecy? The Hydra Archon alone, weeping on her throne. In order that the prophecy might appear fulfilled, I invited Farina to be an actress, to play the part of the Hydro Archon in the prophecy. Under the curse I placed on her, so long as I, Focalor's divinity, continued to exist, she could not die. But nor was she free to live her life in the pursuit of happiness. Instead, she was forced to take the stage in the opera house, to embrace the role of leading lady, to forever play the part of the god from the prophecy, all to create a deceitful appearance of that prophecy coming to pass. I suppose now you probably understand why your court is called the Opera Epiclese.
But Farina is only human, isn't she? Even though she has had a long life, her mind is no stronger than that of any other ordinary human being. I cannot begin to fathom what she has had to endure. It must have been torture for her.
It has indeed. And although she is, in a sense, me in human form, I most definitely owe her an apology for it. It's been 500 years, and all along, she's been playing her part in the most unimaginably long, unbearably lonely, and agonizingly painful opera of all time.
Can you not like avoid the sword when it fall? Oh. What is this? Domain expansion? Oh.
Oh? Who permitted you to come onto the stage? Now, I understand your admiration for my august self. All right. It is not my intent to reprimand you.
Don't look at me, don't look at me.
There is no need to state your name. Just be off with you. Do not oh, do
Just
not
let this
jest.
stage light go
Cannot
off.
feel it. I am Focalor. The eyes of countless Fontanians are upon me.
Which one am I supposed to read?
At all times, display the utmost elegance and...
What the fuck? I have to find a way. Turn off the spotlight.
Dear audience, the performance is experiencing a technical difficulty, but worry not. The guards shall resolve it soon enough.
What?
I'm going in! Shouldn't let your guard down. No time to lose.
Hey, what gives?
Another one?
The audience is still watching me, you know. Guards? Wait, where are the guards? Guards!
Things are about to get done.
Cat. Where's Paimon? Okay. Ni punya damage kau. Karakter aku kuat lah. Aku dah aku farm nak dekat setahun awak karakter.
Farina.
Huh? Who's that? Who's calling me? Where are you?
Be not nervous. Be not afraid. I am before you.
Wait a moment. You're mirror me?
This is like Green Goblin talking to himself at the mirror. Or Homelander talking to himself at the mirror.
Mirror you, huh? You know what? That's not bad. Let's go with that.
Mirror me. What do you wish to say?
The prophecy. Have you heard of it?
What prophecy? Wait. I know. I think. I don't know why, but it's in my head somehow. The people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain, weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
Oh, very good. You know it well.
What's going on? I can't seem to remember anything clearly.
Well,
The only thing I know for sure is this prophecy. Will it really come to pass?
well, it's not bad because like if you hug them, it's like you're closer to her heart. You know,
sooner or later.
There's like not many stuff on your way to get to her heart.
Escaping it.
But doesn't that mean everyone will die?
Hashtag flat is justice.
I'm a Fontanian just like them. Will I dissolve too?
Oh, don't worry. Magical meetings exist in this world precisely to give people a chance to turn things around. It is the reason why you met me today. I will tell you how to save everyone, but you may have to suffer somewhat.
Oh, so there's still hope after all. Goodness, you frightened me. You spoke so much and with so much certainty. As for the suffering, well, I will admit that the first thing that came to mind was, why do I have to be the one to suffer? But if the prophecy will come true, I'll also die anyway, right? So if I've already met you as my magical meeting in this world, if there were scales, with all the people of Fontaine on one side, and my pain on the other, is it not obvious where the scales should tilt?
You truly are the perfect human. My ideal. I suppose this would also be the justice that belongs to you.
Huh?
Justice.
Don't worry, it's nothing. Listen well. Fontaine has just lost its Hydro Archon. I need you to play a role. That of the new Archon.
For 500 years.
A god?
That's right. You must begin a never-ending masquerade. You must never let anyone suspect your identity. If you can keep it up, then I shall have my way of defying this prophecy. But should your identity be revealed, then all hope will be lost.
But
Oh.
how will I do this? A human assuming the role of a god without being exposed.
Don't worry. What you must do is not to turn yourself into a real god. You simply need to play the role of a god as humans imagine them to be. Being a human yourself, I'm sure you already know what such an entity would be like. Remember, your true challenge will not be pursuing divinity, but contending against humanity.
I'm still not sure I understand, but I'll try. I'll try to do this. So, how long am I going to have to play this role?
To accomplish this mission, you will have to stay on the stage for many, many years. You will endure and not grow old until your task ends, but I promise you, all will eventually end in a magnificent and dramatic trial, and everyone will be saved.
A trial, huh? How exciting.
So she know that she gonna die?
Forward to it.
The one in the mirror. What's the name? Focalor? Foscanor? Escanor? Oh. So she gonna die no matter what, right? No matter what she do. Run. Why are you walking?
The Maison Cardinalise has announced my accession, but this is my first time facing the people. What should I say to most appear like a god? To be honest, ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and welcome to the Opera Epiclese. I'm sure you've all heard about how I have taken on the role of Hydro Archon. In truth, I know little about becoming a nation's new god, but it will be my honor to guide you all as the god Focalor, the god of justice.
Focalor.
I shall do all within my power to lead you into an age of fairness and justice. Once again, thank you all for coming. If you should have any questions or suggestions, please send them to the Maison Cardinalise. This should do it. I thought I might stammer, but thankfully—
That's the new Hydro Archon. Is this some kind of joke by the Maison? I would have thought that a being that surpasses humanity would be a bit
This is
more
my viewer.
assertive.
Hey, did you hear that? She even told us to send her suggestions there at the end.
This is the all the people that watching my stream.
She's being so modest. What's the difference between her and an ordinary person then?
If you ask me, perhaps the succession didn't actually happen. She might just be a Maison-back puppet.
What's Maison?
What's going on? Why is everyone suspecting me of being a fake? This is bad. If I get exposed here, there'll be no saving.
I mean, you and Cloud with Dart is Treble and Paimon. They're watching right now, right?
I just need to play the role of a god as humans imagine them to be. Calm down, Farina. Think. What do the people want? How
Yeah, right now there's a Traveler and
Speak
Paimon.
and act. Assertive, with a strong sense of presence. One who can dispel all doubt. That is the character I'm fated to play. Oh, very good, my people. Now, I was wondering if some weak puppet were to one day come onto the stage and claim ownership of this opera house, would the children of Fontaine follow them? Well, it seems that you would all see right through them. Having passed my test, you are qualified to witness wondrous trials alongside my august self. You may consider my previous act a door gift of sorts. Now then, let us be reintroduced.
Ah, so that was just a performance. How could I have forgotten that we were inside an opera house?
Her personality. quite shocking, to be honest, but I suppose it's a better look than before.
Such a fascinating and bold deity. How wonderful! Our future may yet be bright after all. It seems I've turned them around. Best follow this flow and restart. My dear people, whether you acknowledge me or not, whether you trust me or nay,
Nay? What's nay?
keep
What's
faith
nay,
in your
nay?
ardor for
What's
justice.
nay, nay?
We have heard it said that this
Oh, so
nation's
that
sins
nay
can
is
no
actually a
longer
word. I
be
thought it's
washed away.
like
Well,
doesn't mean anything.
I say that justice is most fragrant when it blooms amid sin.
They like the condescending personality rather than. They love drama. That's why they like it when people talk like, "Behold my power," instead of "Hi, this is my power."
The
Turn up the
scales
drama.
of justice should not weigh heavy in the hands of its God. May love be the prayer on our lips. May judgment be our worship.
Close politely.
No, this won't work.
Oh.
They'll suspect me again.
Ah.
I must play the role that they want me to play.
Close politely. Ah, shit.
They'll suspect me again. I must play the role that they want me to play.
And the speech, empathically.
There is no trouble in this world that justice cannot solve. So long as I, the Archon Focalor, stand within the Opera Epiclese.
I can't imagine Venti talking like this.
For the Oratrice!
Woo! Yahoo! Vol JJJ Jnainu. Venti speaks in poem. Yeah, well play that weird looking guitar. Oh, she sleep on the stage? Damn.
Lady Farina, here are today's case reports, as well as a summary of the follow-up for...
Come now, was I not just at the Opera House in person? Besides, none of these trials were the one that I'm looking forward to the most.
If I may be so impertinent, what kind of trial are you truly looking forward to?
A magnificent,
dramatic
and wondrous trial.
That's true, I fear I lack the ability to grasp your divine thought.
No need for fright, and do not take what I said before too seriously. Go now, do your duties.
What is this? It feels like I'm playing the Sim game. Sleep. Do Archon take shit and pee though? I wonder. Like Venti and Zhongli? I remember Venti loved to drink alcohol.
No need
So
to thank
does that
me.
mean that
Or rather,
he
thank
actually
your
take
own sense of
shit and pee?
perseverance Instead.
Or else,
Long have you stood in line to
like,
meet me, have you not?
where the alcohol go to, right?
Oh, I'm afraid that's just an inevitable consequence of my divine charm. All right, Deoteria, is it? How is your son's illness?
Butcher talking to Butcher.
You remembered me, and you knew of my family too. He is doing much better now. In fact, he is far more of an ardent believer than I. He was the one who forced
This is
me to
like
seek
Fight
an
Club.
audience with you, and
If you know the movie.
back to him.
Oh, good. Very good. If this should happen again in the future, please do not hesitate to come and tell me.
You're such a gentle and wise God. Thank you once again.
This is like
On
therapy.
behalf of my son.
Alright. Go to the one that have the spotlight, I guess.
Lady Farina, here are the latest hydrological reports.
I see. It's as I thought then. As your god, all manner of signs indicate that the prophecy will...
Well, as I understand it, the Fontaine Research Institute is also trying to find a way to counter the rising water levels.
Really? Have they found anything?
I'm afraid that they haven't found any effective solution thus far.
Oh, is that so?
Oh, and then go to sleep. They do sleep. I see.
The day is finally over. I haven't had a moment to breathe this whole time. But it's good to see that everything's getting on track. Maybe this is fine. Alright, Farina.
Opera House, Farina. Scene 4.
Lady Farina, here are the new trial reports for the latest cases, as well as a summary of the follow-up.
There'll be no need for that.
Lady Farina, I've waited so long for this chance to see you in this manner.
Indeed, my dear, loyal citizen.
Lady Farina, we're detecting significant hydrological anomalies near Poisson.
Understood. Keep monitoring.
Sleep.
I don't think I let anything slip today.
She did this for 500 years?
I don't know when these days will end.
She did the same stuff every day for 500 years? Damn. Basically like Squidward got bored of his life doing the same stuff every day in the Squidward city. Bart's dildo is there.
Lady Farina, it's like a dream being able to speak with you up close like this. I've heard that the first member of our family who was honored to receive an audience with you was Madame Deoteria.
And what a fine family yours is indeed.
Surely you exaggerate, lady. My lady?
What is it, good citizen?
Are you crying?
Oh, really now? I didn't even notice. This must be the overflow of hydro from my person. Well, can't quite help being the god whose dominion is the waters, can I?
Overflow hydro.
No wonder. A manifestation of
She's
your
going
power,
crazy.
then. Oh,
Like
Archon,
Homelander.
I'm honored to have witnessed it. Honored indeed.
So interminable. Hundreds of years must have passed
Damn.
by now. Perhaps the show must go on for hundreds more. I never imagined that it would hurt so much. Have I reached my limit? I want to tell someone, anyone, about this. But would that not destroy all I've done so far? I've conducted so many investigations across the centuries.
Why don't she fake her death?
Just keep heart.
Like Zhongli did.
I must maintain this
And then leave quietly somewhere far.
way to save Fontaine. Please, mirror me. You have to succeed.
She needs to be so she or what?
Farina, you don't have to shoulder this burden alone. Although I don't know what you might be keeping from everyone. Your people are more than willing to share your
Keep the
burden
heavenly
with
principle
you.
full. But Zhongli fake his death, right? Doesn't the heavenly principle already know that? Oh, so why Zonli is fine when he did that? Like, that's for the people of Liyue.
Share my burden.
Why the heavenly principle are fine when Zonli did that? Like, I don't know, I'm a bit confused.
That's impossible. It was fated right from the start that this would be my duty alone.
They have Ningguang? So Ningguang is basically like a human god in Liyue. Is it? So Archon role is like to fix this one city and make it stable every day until there's someone who can do that, no matter if it's a human or not, like that. As long as like there's no one can handle the role, it's the Archon responsibility.
But even if your burden doesn't need to be shared, you can still choose to confide in someone.
Oh, I see. So that means that people from this place is weak as fuck.
Just share it with me. I'm what you'd call a witness.
A witness? Yes. I've heard that you came to Tevat from beyond the stars, yes. And if Tevat is, in its entirety, a show on a stage, if that's the case... He's right. I could confide in him, couldn't I? But if things don't play out as expected, the people of Fontaine will be the ones to pay the price. No, Farina. You shouldn't be selfish. But what if... Farina, you've worked so hard for so long. Is it such an outrageous thing to do anyway? To find someone in whom you can confide your frustrations and sorrows? Surely it could not hurt.
Whose god commit crime? This one? For creating a human?
If you let this opportunity
from
slip through your
Oceanids?
fingers, it might never come by again. Think about it long and hard.
Did the heavenly principle doesn't know that Hydro Archon created new human from the Oceanid all this time? Dot.
No, I have nothing to say. I am Farina, the Archon of Fontaine. All you need to do, dear spectator, is to witness my performance until the curtains fall.
Like, why?
Fine.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, how? I think they know, right? There's so many questions, like why the whale suddenly attack, or like now out of all time. Then there's so many questions. I'll just look up in YouTube later.
So even Farina doesn't know the truth? You've never once let her in on the full plan?
No.
Yes, it had to be done. To deceive the heavenly principles, you must first deceive yourself. She did very well.
if she had let her resolve falter even once in these 5 centuries, Fontaine would have been doomed to the most tragic fate. It seems that trusting humanity was the right decision after all.
I believe that I understand how your deception works, but that is only half the truth, is it not? How would you build on this foundation to save the people of Fontaine? That is the most important thing.
Ah, good. Of course, the Iudex of Fontaine has pinpointed the crux of the issue. I'm sure you've long sensed that the Oratrice is no simple machine, yes?
I've always suspected that it had its own consciousness, and Lenny did mention that he heard a human voice within the core chamber. It now seems that that person was you, hidden within the machine all along. Am I right?
And then I became one with the Oratrice, taking Fontaine's gnosis with me. Yes, it would seem so, wouldn't it? Alas, your understanding of this device still lacks sufficient depth. In truth, it is no enactor of justice. It is, in fact, a device created to kill the god of justice.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, you have it. And to be more precise, not only will the Oratrice take down the god of justice, it will also take down the divine throne upon which she has been placed. I mean, did you think I would be the sort to enjoy peaceful repose while Farina suffered? My work over these last 500 years has been to constantly accumulate indemnitium within the Oratrice. But really, some have already discovered that only a small fraction of the energy generated by the device was ever used to provide power to Fontaine. The vast majority had to be, accumulated to enact this death sentence.
It was all a part of your plan then? Both the trial and the sentence?
Indeed. This power, accrued over 5 centuries, could have sustained Fontainians for millennia, had it only been used for that purpose. Almost all of it has now been stored within the Oratrice. But only power of this magnitude could hope to destroy the Hydro Archon's divine throne, shaking the rules established by Celestia, and breaking through the institution that is the Seven.
So the Oratrice's call for death was for neither Farina nor Focalor, but for the Hydro Archon. The destruction of that divine throne. If I do not misunderstand your intent, you must be...
Returning what's rightfully yours to you, of course. In other words, this was all done to return the authority of the Hydro Archon to the Hydro Dragon of this planet.
But...
I'm gonna cry?
Oh, what? Getting sad again, are we? The authority of the ancient dragons shall soon be yours once more, O Hydro Dragon Sovereign. And this is the face you make.
All you've done throughout the years is just so you can sacrifice yourself at the very end.
I've never quite seen it that way, you know. Even now, I'm quite
I mean, if
pleased
I
deception worked.
already live for 500 years, I don't mind to die. Like, it's so boring. And plus, there's no video game, no telephone in this world, no internet.
Hydro Dragon.
For 500 years, you just ride horse, eat apples? Oh my, no, that's boring.
I must say, had it been within my rights, I would have loved to judge the heavenly principles themselves. Were they not guilty of essentially the same crime? Egeria stole the power of the primordial sea, and the heavenly principles stole the power you ancient dragons possessed. I, for my part, am the god of justice. And is it not just that your original powers should be returned to you? Speaking of justice, I have always believed that justice lies in the process of pursuing human existence itself. So, if the theft of the primordial sea's might was Fontaine's original sin, then, leaving matters of procedural right and wrong aside, the descent of the Fontainians as humans and their right to exist in this world would be Fontaine's original justice. In other words, existence was Egeria's justice, and to me, justice is the continuation of that existence. Defying the prophecy and ensuring that Fontaine's people shall live on. At this point, we, Iudex Neuvillette,
So when I was invited to the court of Fontaine to serve as Iudex, I see now that that was your idea too, at last. I now understand the true purpose behind this position. In the beginning, I was uninterested in human existence. But these 5 centuries of living alongside them have gradually brought about mutual understanding between us. You are a devious one, Focalors. Things being as they are, surely you know that I could never declare them to be guilty.
Is it finally time?
The hour of my execution is almost here. For the sinner, the curtain call has come. I know I may not sound it, but faced with death, I find myself a little afraid. Perhaps this is one thing both gods and humans have in common. Farewell, Neuvillette.
Bye-bye.
I hope you've enjoyed the part you played these 500 years.
Oh. Dance before die? Alright. But there's no music in reality, so she's dancing to exactly no music at all. She's just enjoying the show. Mwah. Then travel. Travel is still in another world? Neuvillette? What? So is what, Neuvillette? Thank you, Furina, for all you have done. As a human. Oh, they are in another world. Oh. Yeah. Now he can do the Kamehameha thing.
I, Iudex Neuvillette, hereby declare, people of Fontaine, your sins are forgiven.
Yeah. All the heavenly principals so angry, even try to nerf him, but fail. And have to give like 1.6k primordial. I think Neuvillette is the real god in Genshin.
What just happened? Has the death sentence been carried out?
Was that bright light some sort of misdirection? I have a feeling that something huge just happened.
But since we're all still alive and haven't been dissolved, I assume whatever happened was good for us.
It's time to end this. We must mete out punishment to that beast.
Didn't you say just a moment ago that it can't be defeated?
I have gained the strength sufficient to deal with it. Through certain means, I now have the ability to separate the power of the primordial sea from that creature. We should seize the opportunity to pursue our quarry.
You obtained the power?
Traveler, now that the oratories can no longer function, I require an executor to help me mete out justice. The root of the calamities befalling Fontaine. The beast that enacts the prophecy. Its name is the all-devouring narwhal. Come with me, traveler. The hour of execution has come.
Finally, some action, please. Ajax, come on. Do something. Woo!
We're going to execute it? But how are we going to do that? It's huge!
I have already done my best to separate the power of the primordial sea from the way. Considering the size of this, I cannot reach the power source. Unless we can find a way to attack it from within.
I don't think fighting it with Hydro is actually a good idea.
We shall look for an opening together.
Ah!
I can feel its sorrow turning into hostility.
Take it easy.
Who's next?
Huh? Ah,
Windblade!
The all-devouring narwhal cannot resist its instinct to devour. Continue to trigger its hostility. Chance will present itself.
Why is there a hole-looking thingy over there? It looks really scary.
Teamwork is dreamwork!
Brace yourself. This is gonna hurt.
I have granted you my protection. Do not fear. Seize the moment and use my power to suppress its root from within.
Things are about to get dicey.
Ah. Yeah, Andy. Oh. Oh, you got a cane. This is the whale from the RE0. Eh? Isn't that the unknown god? Whoa, Edgehead, no! Wait, is that the unknown god? No, right?
Thanks for
that's
helping with the
Taskmaster.
cleanup. It should have been my job, but oh well. It was just supposed to be a short private training session for me. I didn't think that my disciple and my master's pet would start brawling in the meantime. Well, actually, I had a feeling that it would happen at some point, but they bumped into one another earlier than I thought. What a blunder. I suppose I'll have to swing my sword 3 million times as penance.
That power. Who are you exactly?
Paimon has an idea. From what she said earlier, she must be Child's master.
Skirk.
Skirk, right? It's just that he gave us the impression that she was the less talkative person.
I simply did not have anything to say to the weak. But you, on the other hand, managed to defeat the all-devouring narwhal without using power from beyond this world. So you may speak to me as equals. I have to agree. It's a strange use of a planet's primordial waters just to raise an all-devouring narwhal. That kind of power is wasted on it. It's not cooperative. It eats too much. And I have more important things to do with my time than pet sitting. The only thing that creature has going for it is its looks. All in all, it fails as a pet.
Miss Skirk? I think you might have missed the point.
The point being?
Well, being that this pet almost destroyed an entire nation. So what sort of person is your master? Well, Child's master's master. Wait, is that right?
Oh, right. So you don't know him. Sorry, I assumed you did. His name is Sertologi.
Sertologi? Child's master's master?
I am unfamiliar with that name.
Huh. So Master isn't sufficiently famous. How should I describe him then? Have you heard of the name The Fowl?
The Fowl?
Still nothing? Well, how about the Visionary? Vetterfulnir then? Or Gold Rhine-daughter?
Ooh, that one we've heard. Rhine-daughter's part of the Hexen Circle. She's Albedo's mom, right?
Oh.
Oh, so you do know that name. To be honest,
So Child's
I also
master's
heard all of those
master is
fancy titles from
also
my
a
master.
woman.
I don't actually know them either. But I suppose you understand now, yes? My master is likely a similar sort to Rhine-daughter.
So Child's
They are both
master's
the same
masters is
form of
Albedo's
perfection.
mom?
Wait, didn't you also mention a visionary person? Paimon didn't quite catch their name.
Actually, never mind that. I believe it expedient to inform you that the all-devouring narwhal used up nearly all its strength fighting you. Such roiling hydro energies will prove difficult for the planet's deep seas to digest. As such, the fontaine back on the surface has most likely been thrown into chaos. In
Skirk.
other words, the prophecy that you've been fretting over should now be in full swing.
What?
I don't know why Skirt doesn't look like she actually from this game.
Not to worry. Focalor has already managed to deceive the heavenly principles.
In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only Farina will remain, weeping on her throne.
She's from out of this world or wherever. She's from Malaysia, I bet.
Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
So we couldn't stop that, no matter what. Too bad. Oh. Is the real human? Tell us with. Oh, they became permanent human. So they changed species from oceanid to actual human. How? What reason? Oh my god, this is the Avengers type of ship.
All hands initiate emergency
Oh wait, the
rescue.
prison can fly? Oh wait, this is the ship under the... Oh yeah, I remember. It's not prison.
Hurry! Hey, lend a hand!
They're looking for Titanic. Hope no one used submarine with controller.
Look! The water's receding!
Ah. Ah.
It's a miracle!
Water's receding.
We didn't dissolve. The prophecy was wrong. The prophecy was wrong.
Are you alright?
Yeah.
We're safe.
The prophecy was wrong.
The soil renewed. The Svina Divasula tax post-disaster rebuilding. Old soil can still give birth to
You didn't know
Miss Navia stated.
for color sacrifice and stuff, but
When
oh,
you're starving late at night, you just need a little.
even
of it.
Furina doesn't know. So the only person that know,
Bane of the
just Traveler and the Dragon Dude.
The various disputes that have arisen on account of Mr. Edwin have suddenly become a shield over the Institute. When people always call the first researcher mad, but
Damn.
they know what to call the second. And should that latter person achieve a miracle, they would find it all the harder to find
Why
a
they
word
didn't
with
tell
which to classify
Furina
him and his team.
and the villagers?
Wow, Paimon barely recognizes the people in the
Oh,
reports.
you gotta take a picture back there.
They sound like.
What do you think? Pretty enthralling, huh? The Steambird's idea was pretty simple. The value for these big scoops
You know-
lies in their inevitable follow-ups.
I did, but I forgot.
Further reports and go into the stories behind those people. Edwin's assistant, Jurier, created a true flying ship, while Navia is leading people in the reconstruction of their home. I'm sure that these stories could draw even your well-traveled eye.
Paimon's curious too! Wait a minute.
And that's exactly why I'd like you to come conduct interviews with me.
Are you sure? Hasn't he turned you down several times already?
Oh, this time will be different. Come on, let's head to Poisson first.
Poisson. Ah. Ah. Where's the kid that listened to me when I was playing guitar? Oh wait, no, not guitar, but the drum thing. The fool was like, no, I remember that part, but I thought like she, Traveler and the Dragon Dude gonna tell Furina after all of this done. Damn. So right now, the people around here know that Furina is not the Archon? Wait, is it not done yet? This is the last one, right? Please be the last one. They do now? Oh, so now they know that she's not Archon. But do they know that Furina actually part of the Archon? Half. So now they think that Furina actually scammed all of them for these 500 years?
Navia!
Oh,
it's you. What brings you all here?
Oh wait, so she actually thought that she's just a normal human.
I'm here
that
to
live for
update myself on
500
how
years.
things are going here. Let me introduce you. This is Mr. Garun Snežević. He represented the Knave in sending us a large amount of supplies. Our residents are hard at work as well. Thanks.
Hello, Miss Charlotte. I'm a big fan of yours. I especially like that article you wrote
They're
last
gonna
year
make
about
babies.
Fontaine's stray cats. But if you don't mind, could you not emphasize our role too much in your report? It's not charity we're doing
Oh,
here.
she doesn't know
We
that she's
just
part of
happen to share the
patrol
same
lore.
interests as the Spina.
I get where you're coming from. I'll keep it.
That would be fine.
Oh, you're back too. How are things?
We finished laying down the construction materials.
Huh? You're here too, Clarion?
Well, her reputation's greatly risen after that whole duel business with Miss Farina.
There's too much to consider in the reconstruction of Poisson.
Song.
The Spina has need of more decision makers.
Oh, wait, just a moment. Do you mind me asking a few questions?
Forget it. I'm sure.
I see you're the same as always.
Well, if we're talking about doing things for my sake, you might as well just take a few more photos of me.
Of course I will. I'm
What
not gonna let him
song?
off that easy. All right, then everyone who wants to be in the photo, gather up.
How did it go? Was it a good shot? Did Paimon look cute in it?
Not bad. Your addition really helped the composition of the picture. All right, hang on a moment. Let me snap a few more shots. All right, that should do it. I'll be back here later anyway, so let's call it a day.
You're very quick.
Speed is of the essence when it comes to the news, and freshness is the key. Also, not to brag, but I'm pretty good at building connections. Who knows? I might eventually get that interview with you after all, Miss Clarend.
Wow, you really do have that never say die spirit. I'm impressed.
I'll hazard a guess that this is how you got that interview at the Fortress of Maripede.
Whoa, you're well informed. Let me make a guess too.
So
I asked Sejuin, who told Monsieur Nervillette, and he told you, right?
That's a very complete information chain.
In truth, all Monsieur Neuvillette asked me was, when did the fortress become so friendly towards the media? I told him that it was best not to speak too soon.
You're right. I've got to treasure every moment I have with them.
Stay safe now. And tell me if you hear anything interesting.
When is this thing gonna finish? Is this finally the last one? This be the last one. If it's not, the next one I'm gonna skip very fast.
Wow, guess we're here again, huh? There's a real nostalgic feeling to this place.
Looks like you've been missing us.
Duke! Did you come all the way to the entrance to greet us?
Of course. I'm here to welcome you and our dear Miss Charlotte.
It's an honor to finally meet the much-rumored Duke.
No need to thank me. But that said,
Of course, of course.
All right then, this way.
They're married?
Hey, no need to be so nervous. I've already taken all the photos we need. Miss Charlotte, do these pictures really need to be published on the cover of the Steambird?
It would seem that Miss Lorvine doesn't want her face to appear beside that of Mr. Jurier,
Sir, please don't say things like that.
But it looks like dear Mr. Jurier denies it. Might this interview be very important to you then?
No, I just... This...
Now, I might not look it, but I actually did meet Mr. Edwin once. And on the boat that brought about a miracle, the ark that saved the people. Still, if I might ask, where's that flying ship now?
Huh. Looks like Charlotte's trying to get herself another exclusive scoop.
I have to apologize, but that ship is presently in the bowels of our factory. I'm afraid it won't be easy for you to get a shot of it.
Really? Well, then in that case, could I have an interview with you to make up for that loss?
No.
You already know my answer, I'm afraid. Best you interview our head nurse instead. Or perhaps you'd like to take another photo of this couple of researchers?
Did you really have to use the word couple? Well, then, 2 solo.
Is my hair messed up? Please, someone help me have a look.
There's a pimple on your forehead.
Pretty lively here. Oh, seems like everyone's here.
Oh, it's the rabbit.
Would any of you like to try this new drink I came up with?
Ah, Siegeween.
Hey, Miss Charlotte. Sure. Come on, Miss Siegeween.
Sure. Do I have to smile? So, how have things been at the...
Same old, as you can see.
Other than that flying ship, it got a tad too much attention, I think.
That's why I decided to let the interview go through.
You're too kind, sir. I believe that you too should have your day in the sun.
I'll just leave the spotlight to you two.
Oh.
I see. Lots of things happened that day, huh?
He sure did win them over, huh?
I'll tell them that there's good news and bad news.
Oh, actually, what about you?
What change can there be? The fortress will keep chugging along, and as to what Miss Farina's departure will mean for the nation, and if our laws and governance will be transformed, we'll leave those to the folks in the overworld.
Hey, everyone. The photo shoot's done.
Good. In that case, let's call it a day here.
Thanks for your cooperation. Come on, Traveler, let's go. Till next time, everyone.
There'll be a...
Maybe. Who knows? I might write a story about the underwater factory next time. All right. Last stop, the docks.
Not done yet. Damn it.
Take it easy.
Yahoo! Am I gonna land in the water? Yeah! I'm a pro. I already calculate everything from up there and to there underwater. Oh my god, it's the guy from... It's the dude from One Piece.
They really are here!
Navia mentioned that she stayed in touch with Linny and the others after working together.
Traveler, Paimon. Ah, and Miss Charlotte, too.
Would you like a magic pocket?
What sort of gadget is it?
It's a wondrous bag that can be used to carry many things.
Trick a friend. I wonder which of my friends would fall for that.
Do you have a friend?
You could just make a friend like Fremine here. Isn't that right, Fremine?
Is this what you meant by, I'll help you make some more friends?
To be honest, that sounds pretty sweet. Could I have your contact, please?
Sure. Please, write down my address.
Lynette sure is working hard to help Fremine socialize.
He was the one who proposed doing this. He even wants to assist in our magic shows.
Yes, I was planning to first introduce Pear as an assistant, and later...
That said, would anyone want to see a diver escape underwater?
Oh, it'll work out. Every journey
Lynette, could you come over?
Got it.
My, that Charlotte is rather perceptive. She got rid of everyone the moment she realized I had something to say to you. Father says that you did a great deal during the latest events.
That's all right. We were more than happy to help.
Oh, I guess you haven't heard. After Lady Farina left, Father and Monsieur Neuvillette opened negotiations, during which he gave Fontaine's Gnosis to her as a diplomatic gift.
Wait, Neuvillette had the Gnosis all this time? Or was it the Foscalanor gave it to him?
A diplomatic gift? A gnosis?
Yes, I was quite
Before
surprised
she
at
died?
first myself. But when I thought it over, there were actually a number of things going for it.
Oh. Oh, she gave it before she died. Right.
It could have been done as an apology for the incident with Lord Child, or as thanks for his help in tying the all-devouring narwhal down. Furthermore, Father did also lend significant aid to Fontaine and Poisson.
Oh, she gave it after she died.
That's true, but this is a gnosis we're talking about.
I would agree, but I've also heard that it seems that Monsieur Neuvillette has had a significant change of heart regarding the matter.
So there's some reason for this that only Neuvillette knows about?
I suspect you'll have to ask him about that yourself.
Isn't he real busy and stuff? But back to the topic.
They say that he's returned to Snezhnaya to recover from his wounds.
That's true. When you think about it, we've had loads of run-ins with the Fatui.
So shocked by such a simple switching of sides?
Of course now. Father? Yeah.
Father!
Well, what do you know? Come to the...
Are you going to take the gnosis back to Snezhnaya?
That is our duty as harbingers, yes. Don't be too preoccupied with sides. Switching my masks is something I've always done. Well, that depends on many things. No one truly knows what the future holds. As for you, I very much look forward to our next collaboration. Good things cannot be achieved alone, and you've proved yourselves to be great partners.
Huh? Read all the option later.
A vision?
Oh, yeah. Ajax vision.
And that's a wrap for me. Huh? You're...
Greetings, Miss Journalist.
Hello.
That is correct. So forgive me, but I will not be able to serve as a subject in your article. However, feel free to write as much as you'd like about our dear magicians.
I will.
The sea breeze is quite pleasant. I shall...
Farewell, Father.
Oh, she has such an intimidating presence. I didn't even dare to take a picture. Thankfully, I've already wrapped up all my pre-scheduled interviews.
Don't be too nervous. Why don't you take a magic pocket before you go? Here, Traveler, Paimon, you take one too.
To move things about?
Magic
That's
pocket.
right. Funny. I was giving out magic pockets when we first met too. I guess this must be life. We will all follow our own paths, and serendipity will lead you to your fated friends. All right then. We'll be handing out pockets in some other districts later, so...
Well, guess we sent Charlotte off. Shall we go see what Neuvillette's doing?
Holy shit. So fun. Oh. Ah!
Take it easy.
The entrance to the fortress! Ooh, he really is there! So, you really are here, Neuvillette! Paimon didn't think you were going to have free time this hour of the day.
Really? Oh, I suppose you must have met Mr. Linney. In any case, you came at a good time.
Aw, Paimon's glad that you remembered. All right, let's have
It is strange how words can often leave a bitter taste in the mouth when it...
Whoa. So that's what
That's all?
Fusillor destroyed the divine throne of the Hydro Archon and restored your power to you, transforming you into a fully fledged elemental dragon sovereign. But Paimon still doesn't quite get what you did to save the Fontanians from dissolving.
For me, the authority of the ancient dragons refers to absolute control over the hydro element.
Oh.
Fontanians were incomplete humans born of Egeria's use of the power of the primordial sea, with constitutions similar to that of mimics. But so long as those primordial energies remain within them, I could use the ancient dragon's authority to grant them true blood, after the fashion in which life was first brought into being on this planet. In other words, when I gave my verdict, Fontanians became true humans, and thus would naturally no longer be dissolved by water from the primordial sea.
Fusillor must have counted on you to make that decision as well. Your verdict was the key to making the prophecy appear to have come true while saving
So
everyone.
he said, Fontanian, please be burger. They're gonna turn to a burger?
Yeah, and in a manner of speaking, Fusillor finally managed to fulfill the original Hydro Archon's wish to turn Oceanids into real people too!
It seems from your expressions that you still have more things you wish to ask. Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Oh, that's right! They say you've given it to the knave as a diplomatic gift or something!
Leaving aside their intentionality, the two Fatui Harbingers have indeed done much for us during this crisis. Their sole remaining goal in Fontaine, at least at this point, would seem to be the Gnosis. The Oratrice has ceased to function. The Hydro Archon's divine throne is now no more, and I do not need the Gnosis's power. As such, it has lost all meaning for Fontaine. If the Fatui have impure designs, then we might as well accede to their request now, and avoid unnecessary conflict.
What complicated considerations! Paimon thought you were just giving it to them out of gratitude to the knave and as an apology to Child.
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it. You will soon be heading to Natlan, I presume. I'm afraid that I have little talent as a travel guide, so as far as I'm aware...
A nation of dragons.
No, I suspect that unlike ancient, Natlan is also... There is one other piece, the Harbinger known as the
Captain.
I suggest that you fully prepare... Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Hang on a sec. Paimon's still got a question about the Gnosis. When we spoke to Linny earlier, he mentioned that your attitude towards giving away the Gnosis had clearly changed. We guessed that there might be some reason for it that only you were aware of.
No wonder the House of the Hearth is the Fatui's intelligence division. They are certainly sharp. So regarding this specific issue, I was just getting ready to share something with you.
What is it?
In truth, I exchanged some further words with that lady named Skirk after sending you two back to the surface. It went something like this.
Skirk.
Well, we're going to head topside to see what's going on. You hurry over soon as well, all right, Nervalet?
What next?
The all-devouring narwhal isn't here, so I'm no longer getting any interference. I can finally catch the scent of... It is the authority of the planet's primordial dragons, but with something very similar to a god's curse mixed in. It's cool. I'm sure I've encountered something like this before.
I do not know what you speak of.
Of course. You should have the remains of the third descender on your person, yes?
Remains? I've never heard of any...
According to your parlance, I believe it may be called a gnosis.
Well, that much is true.
What's the point of
After
putting
Fusillor's
G
divinity faded,
in
she
the
handed her
gnosis?
gnosis to me. But I fear I have never heard of it
Gnosis.
described in the manner that you just did.
I've been training with my master, the Foul, ever since I was young, and I have never returned to the surface since. It is only natural for those who are greater than humanity to possess a different sort of calm. Regardless, you should probably get
so
rid of
much
objects
useless
of
stuff.
misfortune to prevent any disasters from befalling you. To live in itself is a blessing. But once a person dies, the bonds he once had with this world shall all turn to curses.
What do you mean by that?
No need to fret. These are just my personal thoughts. And
This third descender you refer to, who are they? And when did they die?
Master never mentioned them to me. Perhaps it just wasn't that important for me. If you're interested, though, I could ask him. I'll be sure to pass the answer on to you next time.
Oh, he's a dude.
You believe we will meet again?
I do. Wait. I have a disciple of my own, don't I?
That's what she told me. Whether it would prove useful or not, I wanted to pass that information on to you.
The remains of the third descender? So that's what the Gnosis actually are. Paimon just thought they looked like chess pieces. How could they be a person's remains?
All the same, assuming that there was no misunderstanding or special metaphor at play.
And she said that it would bring misfortune and that you should check it, which is why you gave it to the Fatui.
If she speaks the truth, then I would simply be putting Fontaine at unnecessary risk by keeping it here. I had guessed that you might already be familiar with this concept, but I did not expect you to be one of them. That means that the Gnosis, which are exceedingly element-compatible and can even enhance elemental abilities, do indeed come from the third descender. I wonder, does your body also possess similar properties?
Like being able to use elemental powers without a vision. That does sort of count as special compatibility, right? No, let's not think about this stuff right now. It just feels creepy. Comparing the Traveler to the dead third descender and all.
Don't worry.
That's what you say, but this topic still feels like bad luck. Once Child recovers, let's get some more answers out of him. Or go look for his master and get the answers that way.
I too believe it unwise to make too many blind guesses when information is lacking. The same is true of being at court.
All right. Whatever the case, it seems like the crisis here in Fontaine's over for now.
Yes. All of Focalor's efforts were for this moment as well.
But she sacrificed herself in the end as a god, and she suffered through all those years as a human. Was that really what she wanted?
I suppose that would be the mystery of a god's will. I suspect not. But once in a while I too would guess that if wishes were like the clouds in the sky, they will one day return to the earth as raindrops. Life flows like water, and rain is the final answer. The water levels may sometimes tilt one way or another, but the rain falls fairly upon all. And what, ultimately, is the difference between the rains that fall upon all of us?
Yay! Woohoo! There's like extra Archon quests after Fountain. Which one? Oh, this one? Bedtime Story? Latest one? Oh. Finally. Finish. Goodbye. Oh, I can talk to him.
It seems from your expressions that you still ask away.
Oh.
I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Nah,
I
it's fine.
suggest that you fully prepare your...
Alright, that's it. Finally 3 hours of stream and just one big fight with the whale, and the rest are just yapping. Thank you for watching. Bye bye. See you guys tomorrow. Oof. Adios.